Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you've been struggling with rising costs and wondering if there's any relief in sight, you're going to want to watch this video until the very end. Today, we're diving into the groundbreaking news about a proposed bill in Congress that could put $2,650 in your pocket and give Social Security and SSDI recipients an extra $250 every single month. Before we get into these life-changing details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on crucial updates about benefits, stimulus checks, and financial news that could impact your wallet. The economic landscape has been challenging for millions of Americans, with inflation continuing to squeeze household budgets and many families struggling to make ends meet. But there might be hope on the horizon. Congress has recently introduced a new bill that's generating significant buzz across the country, and for good reason. This comprehensive legislation aims to provide substantial financial relief to Americans through a one-time stimulus payment of $2,650 and a monthly boost of $250 for Social Security and SSDI beneficiaries. But what exactly does this mean for you, and how likely is it to become law? Let's break down the stimulus check portion first. The proposed $2,650 payment would be available to eligible Americans based on income thresholds similar to previous stimulus payments. However, this time, the income limits have been adjusted to account for inflation and current economic conditions. You might be wondering, how do I know if I qualify? Well, for single filers, the full payment would be available to those earning under $75,000 annually, while married couples filing jointly would need to earn less than $150,000 to receive the full amount. The payment would then phase out gradually for higher income earners, ensuring that those who need it most receive the most substantial benefit. But what makes this bill particularly noteworthy is its attention to Social Security and SSDI recipients. The $250 monthly increase represents a significant boost for beneficiaries who have been disproportionately affected by rising costs. Think about it, that's an additional $3,000 per year that could help cover essential expenses like groceries, medications, and utilities. Many seniors and disabled individuals live on fixed incomes, and this increase could make a real difference in their quality of life. But you might be asking yourself, is this increase permanent? According to the proposed legislation, this monthly boost would be implemented for at least 2 years, with the possibility of extension based on economic conditions. The timing of this bill is crucial, as many Americans are still recovering from the financial impact of the pandemic while facing new challenges from inflation. But you're probably wondering, what are the chances of this bill actually passing? While it's important to note that not all proposed bills become law, this one has gathered significant bipartisan support. Several key members of Congress have emphasized the urgent need for financial relief, particularly for vulnerable populations like seniors and disabled individuals. The bill's sponsors argue that this targeted approach would provide meaningful assistance while being more fiscally responsible than previous relief packages. However, there are some important details you need to know about the implementation timeline. If passed, when could you expect to see these payments? The bill includes provisions for expedited processing, with the goal of getting stimulus checks out within 60 days of the bill becoming law. For Social Security and SSDI recipients, the monthly increases would begin the first month following the bill's passage. But remember, these are proposed timelines, and actual implementation could vary based on various factors. One of the most common questions we're receiving is, how would this affect other benefits? The good news is that this stimulus payment would not count as income for determining eligibility for federal benefits programs. Additionally, the Social Security and SSDI increase would be structured as a supplemental payment, meaning it wouldn't affect your regular benefit calculations or future cost of living adjustments, COLAs. The bill also includes several safeguards to prevent fraud and ensure that payments reach their intended recipients quickly and securely. The IRS would utilize the same payment distribution methods used in previous stimulus rounds, including direct deposit, paper checks, and EIP cards. For Social Security and SSDI recipients, the additional monthly payments would be automatically added to their regular benefits, requiring no additional action on their part. But what about the economic impact of such a measure? Economic experts have weighed in on the potential effects of this targeted relief package. Many argue that directing aid to lower-income households and those on fixed incomes could provide an effective boost to the economy, as these groups are more likely to spend rather than save additional funds. This spending could help support local businesses and contribute to economic recovery. The bill's supporters have also highlighted how this relief package differs from previous stimulus efforts. Rather than a one-size-fits-all approach, this legislation aims to provide more substantial support to those who need it most while being more fiscally responsible. But you might be wondering, how would this be funded? The bill includes various revenue-generating provisions and reallocation of existing funds to offset the costs, addressing concerns about the national debt. For Social Security and SSDI recipients, the monthly increase could be particularly impactful when combined with the recent 8.7% COLA increase. But how would these two increases work together? The proposed $250 monthly boost would be entirely separate from and in addition to any COLA adjustments, potentially providing significant relief for beneficiaries struggling with rising costs. The bill also includes provisions for expedited processing for certain vulnerable populations, including veterans, senior citizens, and individuals with disabilities. But what documentation would you need to prove eligibility? For most recipients, no additional documentation would be required if you've already received previous stimulus payments or are currently receiving Social Security or SSDI benefits. Many people are asking about the income verification process for the stimulus payment. The IRS would primarily use 2022 tax returns to determine eligibility, but what if your income has changed significantly since then? The bill includes provisions for using 2023 tax information if it would result in eligibility for a larger payment, providing flexibility for those whose financial situations have changed. Another important aspect of the bill is its impact on different household compositions. How would payment amounts vary for families with dependents? The legislation includes additional payments for qualifying dependents, similar to previous stimulus rounds, but with adjusted amounts to better reflect current economic conditions. The bill's provisions for Social Security and SSDI recipients have generated particular interest among advocacy groups. Many organizations representing seniors and disabled individuals have praised the proposed monthly increase as a significant step toward addressing the unique financial challenges faced by these populations. But what role can public support play in getting this bill passed? This brings us to an important point: citizen engagement in the legislative process. Many people are asking, what can I do to support this bill? Contacting your representatives in Congress, sharing your story, and making your voice heard can all play a crucial role in moving this legislation forward. Remember, elected officials are more likely to support measures that their constituents actively advocate for. The proposed legislation also includes measures to ensure timely distribution of funds. But what happens if you don't receive your payment when expected? The bill includes provisions for a dedicated customer service hotline and online portal to track payments and resolve issues, similar to the systems used in previous stimulus rounds. For Social Security and SSDI recipients, there are questions about how this monthly increase might affect other benefits they receive, such as Medicare, Medicaid, or housing assistance. The bill specifically addresses these concerns, ensuring that the additional payments would not negatively impact eligibility for other essential benefits programs. Looking at the broader economic context, this bill comes at a time when many economists are debating the best approaches to providing economic relief while managing inflation. How does this targeted approach compare to previous stimulus efforts? Many experts suggest that focusing relief on specific populations most in need could provide significant benefits while minimizing inflationary pressures. The bill's timing is particularly relevant given recent economic indicators and forecasts. But what economic conditions would need to be met for the monthly increases to continue beyond the initial 2-year period? The legislation includes specific economic triggers that would determine whether the increases should be extended, providing both flexibility and predictability. For those wondering about the tax implications of these payments, the bill addresses this directly. Would these payments be taxable? Like previous stimulus payments, the $2,650 stimulus check would not be considered taxable income. Similarly, the monthly $250 increase for Social Security and SSDI recipients would be structured to minimize tax implications. The legislation also includes provisions for ensuring that payments reach unbanked and underbanked populations. What options would be available for those without bank accounts? The bill maintains multiple payment distribution methods, including prepaid debit cards and check cashing services, to ensure accessibility for all eligible recipients. One aspect that sets this bill apart is its attention to fraud prevention while maintaining accessibility. How would the government balance security with the need for quick distribution? The legislation includes enhanced security measures while utilizing existing verification systems to minimize delays in getting payments to eligible recipients. For those concerned about the long-term implications of this relief package, the bill includes provisions for studying its economic impact. How would this data be used to inform future policy decisions? The results could help shape more effective and targeted relief efforts in the future. The proposed legislation has also sparked discussions about broader reforms to Social Security and disability benefits. While this bill focuses on immediate relief, how might it influence longer-term policy discussions? Many advocates see this as an opportunity to address ongoing challenges in these crucial support systems. As we monitor this bill's progress through Congress, it's important to understand the various factors that could influence its passage. What role might upcoming elections or changing economic conditions play in its fate? These factors could affect both the timeline and the final form of any approved legislation. For those wondering about the implementation process, the bill includes specific deadlines and requirements for government agencies. How would different departments coordinate to ensure smooth delivery of benefits? The legislation outlines clear responsibilities and coordination requirements for various federal agencies. The bill also addresses potential challenges for specific populations, such as rural residents or those living abroad. What special provisions are included to ensure these groups receive their payments? The legislation includes measures to address unique distribution challenges for different populations. Questions about retroactive payments have also emerged. Would there be any backdating of the monthly increases for Social Security and SSDI recipients? The bill specifies when payments would begin and whether any retroactive payments might be included. Looking at the broader impact, how might this relief package affect local economies? The targeted nature of these payments could lead to significant economic activity in communities with higher concentrations of Social Security and SSDI recipients. The bill also includes provisions for monitoring and reporting on the distribution and impact of payments. How would this data be used to assess the program's effectiveness? Regular reporting requirements would help track the relief package's impact and inform future policy decisions. For those following this legislation closely, what are the next steps in the legislative process? Understanding the timeline and potential hurdles can help you stay informed about when these benefits might become available. As we wrap up this comprehensive overview of the proposed legislation, remember that staying informed about developments is crucial. How can you keep track of this bill's progress? Following reliable news sources and staying connected with advocacy organizations can help you stay up to date. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on this proposed bill and other important financial news that could affect you. Share this information with friends and family who might benefit from these potential payments, and let us know in the comments what questions you have about this proposed legislation. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll dive deeper into specific aspects of this bill and provide updates on its progress through Congress. Until then, keep watching for the latest news and information that could impact your financial future.